Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Riding on the Strom. In today's episode, we're just going to go up 33. I was hoping it was going to be sunny back here, but it seems to be a little smoke haze thing going on. As most of you probably already know, Southern California at this point in time is pretty much entirely on fire. So this is a rare area where there isn't a fire, but you can see even if you don't have a fire, the smoke will get to you somehow. But be that as it may, got the Hornet X2 helmet on from Shoei. Got the new microphone, so I ordered another microphone after my successful test on the MT10. So that means I have a microphone in my sport bike helmet, and I have a microphone in my adventure helmet, and that's what we're testing today. I'm also doing different settings on my GoPro. I know that's all very boring, but the new GoPro, the GoPro 7, the GoPro 8, and even the GoPro 9 is coming out with even improved stabilization. It does have really good stabilization compared to the old days. I used to sport a GoPro 4, the V-Strom 1000. This Hero 7 stabilization is just fantastic. And what I'm doing is, on the MT10, I have no stabilization, and which makes the footage look a little bit more cool. There is a lot more motion blur and things going by, and that's really great when you're going fast. But on the V-Strom, I have stabilization turned on, so it should be a little bit more of a smoother camera viewing, smoother viewing experience for you. Now I have ordered the, have I already sent this? I don't know. I've ordered the foot peg lowering kit plates for the V-Strom 650, and those should be coming in shortly, and we'll get those on. You know, it's going to improve it, you know, but I don't feel as bad as I did with that low seat in here. I am going to adjust the handlebars up just a little bit, just a little bit. But the seat has put me way up. Now I'm kind of out of my fun zone, as it were. But not much topics today, not much going on. I've been stressing over bikes, whether to get another bike, and your jaw may have just dropped, but I get very apprehensive about bikes and emissions laws and buying bikes that they don't make anymore. And I get very, I don't know, anxious about it. That's the word. I don't get stressed out about it. I get a lot of anxiety over these bikes. Let's see if I can get around this person. I'll do a pass up here if I can. I love when people speed up like that. It's so nice of them to do that. Let's check the camera. Is it sticking up too far? I don't think it is. Looks like it is. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's sticking way up too far. I'm gonna have to adjust that. But yeah, a little bit anxious about bikes. The reason why I'm anxious about them is because of all the emissions and the new gens coming out, and they're going to get progressively more stunted, as it were, or choked out, or they're not really going to be like the bikes I remember. And even the bikes I own right now have emissions on them, and they're pretty bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not somebody who doesn't care about the environment and things like that. But as a motorcycle collector and an aficionado, it's a fancy word for saying bike nut, there are certain models of bikes that I kind of cherish. And usually bikes, when they have different gens, they just, improve and change the bike, and people can be very attached to a certain gen of bike and like that particular model, and get it. But now, with that said, on top of that, we have all these tougher emissions coming through, and bike manufacturers trying to accommodate them, and catalytic converters getting bigger, and the number of catalytic converters added to a bike. I mean, it's, yeah. And of course, we're moving toward electric bikes. I understand that. So there's going to be this period, though, of really crappy motorcycles, gasoline engine motorcycles, and really crappy electric bikes. There's going to be this era, this period of time, where both are going to be shit. While we wait for the next bump, the next generation of electric batteries for motor vehicles, until that happens, right now electric bikes aren't that great. But there will be a leap forward in technology and battery development that will make that happen. So, anyway, to make sense out of my story, I get very anxious about bikes that I find. Older bikes, maybe a year old or two years old. As you know, I buy leftover bikes to save money. This was kind of a leftover bike. Nobody bought it. But I see these bikes and I start thinking about it. And 9 out of 10 times when I've made my decision, I think I wait too long, I hesitate, and somebody else gets the bike. And if you watch my wet boots video, where I talk about the differences between the V-Strom 1000 and the 650, I actually sold my V-Strom 1000 to get the last gen BMW GSA 1200, and wimped out at the last minute. And suddenly I was stuck with no adventure bike, and that sucked. Whoa, what the what's this guy doing? I don't understand. Okay, I can just pass you normally, sir. I don't understand what all that was about. Well, I hate getting distracted by traffic. I want this road all to myself. The CHP was supposed to block it up there and back there, and I was going to be for this film shoot. I know not a lot of you live in California, but a lot of TV commercials and things, even motorcycle commercials, the CHP will block off the road and the film crew will come in and do their little thing. And I've seen several of those. And what's interesting is that sometimes it's before the car's really been officially released. You get to see the car. I actually saw them film a commercial for a car that never got released. But what was I talking about? So, yes, so I didn't get the BMW 1200 GSA, and was really actually upset about that afterwards. I got very, not confused, but the new model complicated things for me, and the great reviews of the 1250, and I thought, well, if I'm going to spend this much money, I might as well just get the 1250. in my opinion, the 1200 was really the last cool engine. You know, it was really you might not agree with me, you might like the 1250, you might think it's faster and everything, but as a bike collector, if you're going to have a motorcycle museum and think of it that way, you'd have to have a water-cooled Boxer 1200 engine as part of your collection. That's what that bike represents, and it is a significant bike. And I am pissed off I didn't get it. And you're probably saying, hey, CPUspeed, or the people that know me, hey, dipshit, just get a used one. Well, that's the problem with great bikes like this, is used ones have, you know, lots and lots of miles on them. And I am very picky about my bikes and like to have new bikes. Very rarely buy used bikes unless it's something collector's item. So recently, I've been looking at bikes and leftover bikes and saw a couple. Oops, let's not scare the shit out of this person. I actually saw two, and I got kind of jazzed by it because one of them had a really good financing deal on it. So, I mean, that's the sweet spot. If you can find a leftover bike that's been discounted, and then the manufacturer has special financing on it with a low interest rate, you know, that's a great combo. That's the sweet spot. That's like the big red alert for me. And that's what's great about Suzuki, not to get off on a tangent, but you can go to Suzuki's website, click get approved, and get pre-approved by their financial bank, the Sheffield Bank, and you can get pre-approved for a loan, and then you walk into the dealership, you give them the loan number, and it's already, you know, a lot of the heavy work is already done. You know, to get pre-approved before you walk in, you know, you still have to process the loan docs, though. I mean, that does take time. But unlike other manufacturers like Kawasaki and Yamaha, they have all these shitty deals where 3 months 0% or 3 months no payments, 6 months no payments, and then the APR jumps to 12%, some wild amount. Get our credit card and get fucked. You know, Honda's a little bit better. Honda will have special financing on old you know, leftover bikes. So it's just a coincidence that I really like V-Stroms in their Suzuki. So I think I can get in front of this guy without him getting too upset. How much time do we got? Oof. I think we got plenty of time. So looking at other bikes, one of the leftover bikes I found was the older gen Honda Africa Twin Sports. That's the one with the big gas tank. And it was pretty cool. So it was discounted heavily and they had a really good APR. I was very excited about it. But, you know, I went down and sat on the bike, and I mean, the reviews are great, but I just didn't, you know, you sit on the bike, you know, that's your first impression. And I just didn't gel with it. I mean, I was excited about it and was going to overlook maybe a few things because of the price and stuff, but I don't know. The good thing about the old gen, the previous gen of the Africa Twin is it is made for tall people. I don't know what happened over in Japan. Someone spilled some coffee on some engineering docs and they screwed up some numbers and made a bike for tall people out of it. Amazing. But it really is a good bike for tall people. So that was the one bike. But then the other bike, I know I'm going to get lambasted for this, but the other bike that they had that was left over, that was heavily discounted, I would say $4 grand. So it was $4 grand down on the Africa Twin and $4 grand down on the other bike, which was a Yamaha 1200 Super Tenere. And it's interesting to note that in my adventure bike journey, as it were, and I think a lot of my new subscribers don't understand why I have an MT10 and why I go fast. I'm an old racer. I'm a retired racing coach. You know, I don't ride on the street. I don't do any of this stuff. And if I do, I'm going super fast. So all of this is a new experience for me. I am enjoying the fuck out of it, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. I don't know why I said all that, but my first adventure bike was the V-Strom 1000, and my friend talked me out of the Super Tenere. I said, how about a Super Tenere? That looks cool. That looks good, you know. He said, no, that's too heavy and too slow. You won't like it. Now, he was kind of right, you know, because in racing, all we're doing is we're limiting as much weight as we can and going as fast as we can. And something like the Super Tenere maybe probably was not going to be something that I like. But in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't planning on going super fast anyway. And, you know, I'm looking back on that now with all these bikes and things that I've done and test ride other bikes and ridden friends' bikes and all this stuff. It's funny that I come back after all these years back to the Super Tenere. And there was one in the dealership. It was a 2018, which was the last year in America they sold the base one. I think from then on, from 2019 on, you could only get it with the electronic suspension. And, you know, that's nice and everything, but again, what? The complexity or the weight, I just wrecked it. So there was that bike, and I got pretty jazzed about it when I sat on it and talked to the guy. I was joking around. Somebody had posted a comment on Instagram like, you know, you get to a certain age and the only decision you have is a Goldwing or Super Tenere. I thought that was pretty funny. And I'm just too tall for the Goldwing. Goldwing's great, but I'm not going to get off on that right now. But I really got hyped on that Super Tenere, and I think it was, I don't know what it was maybe a weekend. But I went back there a week later and was really serious about getting it. And it was gone. So here I had blown my chance to get the BMW 1200 GSA, and now I've blown my chance to get the last Super Tenere base model. I did look around. You can't find one. I mean, I can get one with the ES on it, so it's not like the bike's gone or the engine has changed, but I would have preferred just to have the base one. But I am overall anxious about bikes. You know, I roll over bikes. I buy bikes on the cheap, ride them, sell them, and I don't make any money, but I don't lose any money. And I'm at the point now where these bikes are never going to, these type of bikes that we're riding now are never, ever going to be made again. So if you're thinking about buying a bike, and a lot of people are buying bikes now because it's the end of the world, and they're thinking, well, what the fuck, I might as well get that motorcycle I've been thinking about. And motorcycle has been doing really great, you know, with COVID and everything, which is kind of weird, but one industry that hasn't suffered too much. But my point in this, all of this, COVID or not, you know, if you're on the fence about buying a bike, and if you find a leftover 18 model or 19 model, buy it. Because you will never, ever be able to get a bike like that again. I can't believe I've been preaching about this for what, how long? 20 minutes? So, now granted, it's not an excuse, but it is. I did see the bike. End of July, I got COVID and spent the rest of August on my back. Of course, I didn't die. I've recovered. But that was part of the problem, you know. I think that if I hadn't gotten sick, I probably would have bought the bike. And it wouldn't have been, you know, it's one of those things where you kind of come out of your illness, or you come out of your coma, and go, gee, what the fuck was I thinking about before all this happened? What was going on, you know? You catch up on those things and completely forgot about the Super Tenere. What makes matters worse, it was local, so I saw the guy on the bike and he waved at me, and I'm like, and I told him to go fuck himself. And he's like, what the fuck's wrong with that? You know, I didn't. But I did see him. I did see the guy. He did wave at me. I'm just like, okay. But still kind of on the fence about the Super Tenere. And the other thing is I can't get decent financing on it, so it's shit financing. Unlike the BMW, I mean well, BMW is even better than the Yamaha financing. So, it's a little windy back there. What was I saying? Yeah, the BMW interest rate is better than Yamaha's. Anyway, so that's a problem, you know. What's nice about Suzuki and their financing is 1.99% for 2020 models for 36 months. That's a fucking awesome deal. Wow, I thought they fixed this. Oh no, it's just... that's an awesome deal. You know, you might want, 36 months. You know what? It's really better for you financially just to get it over with, you know? Especially if you're going to keep the bike, so. But it's the interest rate. Whatever the term is, it doesn't matter. That interest rate is nice. And of course, on the leftover bikes or the older bikes, it's 0%. So, and even BMW's got 0% on some of its bikes, not the one I want. But. So, that's the end of my story. Another bike that I ripped out on. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, well, would you sell your V-Strom? I'm like, probably not. Probably not. Just like I said, I'm never going to have this generation of 650 V-twin engine again. As I said, I got this bike because it reminds me of the SV650, you know, and I'd love to get an SV650, but I don't think I'd be very comfortable on it. Unlike this. And, not the, let's see, did I figure this out? Whoops, nope. I'm gonna figure this out again. I can't do this. There we go. Wrong button. I figured out how to fix this. I actually have to pull the bar back a little bit. Just give my hand a rest. It's not holding speed, as you can see, but it's better than nothing. But yeah, my hand's getting a little bit tired. But, yeah, that's my story. I mean, even some of the exotic bikes I'm a little bit concerned about. You know, my local dealer has a nice KTM that's on discount too, and they're talking about putting some radar detection cruise control on it and changing the gas tank around, and you know, it's like one of those things. Well, no, I got the gen before they fucked it all up. And the thing is, a lot of people want lower center of gravity, and they don't like gas tanks that are super high. Being tall, I like the gas tank to be super high, because then I don't look like a praying mantis when I'm on the bike. Let's see, I gotta check if the camera's running. Well, it's a beautiful day out here, except for it's sunny. I think I put color on auto, so it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, I hope there's no bugs on it. I got bugs on my screen right now. I'm in the wrong deal. One thing I'm having a problem with is I really have leaned this bike quite far over, and I don't know if I want to lower the pegs, but geez, yeah, I got to. I mean, I didn't get this thing to canyon carve up things, but boy, is this fun. Look at this. We are going to ride until the battery dies. So if the battery dies and I'm still talking, you know, I'll do the outro again and do something. It's kind of dreary out here though, with this kind of smoky haze that we've got going on here. I really don't like it. But it's not smoky in the sense that it's a bronchial problem, although, I mean, it's not the best air quality. Okay, why am I tailgating this guy? He did nothing wrong. But hopefully I can go around this. And get in between the bumps. Yeah, got in between the bumps. All these little indentations in the center line here. Yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant about lowering the pegs. I'm having so much fun. I'm also thinking that I'm probably not going to put the big windscreen back on. I kind of like this other one. I mean, it seems to be working pretty well. I do have to do a battery check, so let's see if I can do a battery check up here. Yep, still going. Still going. How are you guys doing? You enjoying the ride? Huh? Oh, what? What was that? You don't like riding, bitch? Oh, I'm sorry. I was planning on going on a long ride. I've been fucking around with that dry pack. I was going to go on a long ride this week, but I looked at the map and it's like all the places I want to go are consumed in fire. I was going to go up the coast. Can't really do that. I'm going to go to Big Bear. Can't really do that. Everything's on fire. And everything north of that, I mean, wow, it is really bad. And I feel for everybody that's fighting for that stuff. And we've got fires down here. It's not close enough to us where it's bad. But I am going to get a ride in today. And I think we're just going to turn around at the, the old Una camp station, Forest Ranger camp station. And it'll be interesting to see if this battery lasts this whole way. So we started in Ojai, we are on 33. We're going toward, I would say, Race Peak, the real Race Peak, I guess. But we're kind of heading east, northeast. This is pretty windy out here. It's always windy out here. Not that I don't enjoy it or don't have a problem with it, but yeah, it's pretty windy. Are those surfboards? Wow. That's pretty wild. Those are surfboards. I think. Scanning ahead for traffic. Surfboards. Let's see if we can get through in between. Woo! Well, I get very anxious about buying bikes, and I think I have to buy bikes because they're going away. So if you feel the same way, say something in the comments. Like, comment, and share, or whatever. But yeah, I was planning a trip this week and decided not to go because of the fires. The other thing is I don't have the lowering pegs yet, so I'm not too keen on going any long trips without my lowering pegs. I really want to get those on before I start doing, like, 300-mile days or 400-mile days. I don't want to spend too much time in the saddle without my legs being properly extended. The other way to look at it is I should be happy with what I have. I have representations of two bikes, a naked bike and an adventure bike, and they're pretty fucking good. Anything before 2020, probably a good thing. Ooh, what's going on here? Look at this, a water slide. Well, not a water slide, a little mudslide thing. A little rain going on back here, or maybe they're working on something. Maybe there's some construction. I don't know. That battery looks kind of low. If I make it, it's going to be very interesting. Now I'm wondering if we get over this mountain, whether we're going to see any major fire flumes, smoke plumes or anything. Because you can, well, when it's this hazy, you can't really see anything. Oh dear! Yeah, I gotta be careful. What's nice about the adventure bike though, compared to the naked, is I'm not going super fast. I am going at 67, that's kind of slow for me. That's slow for me, actually. I'm pretty sure I can deal with any surprises. But if I was going 100, big rock there. Mental note for when I return. But yeah, I really got to get this throttle lock fix. So I watched another video, I might put it up on the screen, where you actually pull back on the grip and expose more plastic to put the lock on, and then you'd probably put in a bigger spacer. So the diameter of the locking, where you put the lock, is enlarged if you pull the grip back a little bit. Well, right now it's a little too small, so I think that's the problem. I mean, it's not, doesn't really have anything to grip on. Wow, still recording. Well, guys, this is the time in the video where I say a magic word. The magic word is coyote. Just put it in the comments, and that way I know you've watched the video all the way to this point. We're not even done yet. It's not to go down the other side of the mountain. Or when the battery goes out, guys. So let's see what we should get a temperature reading. It's obviously not 85 degrees. 78. That's pretty good. Yeah, it gets colder once you get up on this mountain. Oh, this guy's gonna stand up. Hey. Now that looked like a Tiger 800. Not that I have to call out every bike that I see, but no, we haven't seen another motorcyclist for days. And then we'll go over, I keep saying, did I say Pikes Peak? Ray's Peak. Pine Mountain Recreation Center. Well, technically it's Ray's Peak, isn't it? No, Pine Mountain Summit. Elevation 4,000. I rounded up. I admit it. Not really seeing any fire thing. It's just big hazy stuff. You know, the other thing I'm curious about this microphone is how, I'm going to actually edit it this time, meaning that I'm going to try to cut down on the wind noise a little bit. I didn't do that in that other video. That was raw sound. I wanted to hear it raw. This one I think I might maybe do something to reduce the wind noise a little bit. But at the same token, I want to kind of get a sense of, is the engine coming through? Can you actually hear the engine? Is that, and that's what's great about the Zoom H1. If I'm not going to be using it, I can stick it in my back pocket and record the engine or the exhaust note. And it's just, I've done that before in the MT10, and it works out pretty well. So we'll see, because I think people want to hear the motorcycle. Which is a break from listening to me yammer all day. I feel obligated. Let's see, what do we got? 77. Feels colder. I get the impression, obviously, that this thermostat's kind of slow. I mean, the other day it got up to 101. I was halfway to the coast, and then it started to go down again. I was like, yeah, this is not 77, it's more 75, 73, I don't know. It's cold, I'm cold. The other thing I gotta start thinking about going along this is I don't have any rain gear, My opinion on rain is, unless you've got to be somewhere, if there's some kind of schedule, it's just not something I'm jazzed about riding in. So I would just pull over. I remember riding a bike down 101 once, and it was just, well, actually that, I had to be somewhere, so I kept riding, but a couple of places I just stopped I mean, in the Central Valley, there's nothing. It's just a big valley, and I found one overpass within like hundreds of miles and sat under there for a while just to dry out, you know. Talk about not having any rain gear. I was soaked to the bone, but it wasn't cold. Kind of like I am now. Don't have a truck, you know. I usually have a truck to cart around bikes, but or a van. Van would be nice. If I won the lottery or something, getting one of those Sprinter vans. I'm just going to put all of Aaron Colton's vinyls on my van. People will go, hey, wait, there's Aaron Colton. Boy, he's, oh, this guy's really nice. I'm going to go down here into Tar Snake Alley. I didn't plan to ride this far today, but it is a weekday, so very rarely do I get to ride on a weekday without any traffic, and this is just heaven. Motorcyclist heaven. I do feel a little bit limited by the pegs. I definitely need to put my feet down. The seat's working. Fuck. God, what a difference. Whew. Elevation 4,000 feet. See, that was right. Well, maybe it was higher up there. I don't know. Maybe I got that wrong. We're almost there, guys. If the battery keeps going, the forest ranger's gonna wonder what the fuck this guy's freaking out about. I'm counting my eggs before they're cracked, though. Still got a little bit more to go. Oh, and I doubt I'm gonna edit this. You know, I might put some B-roll in, but I'm not gonna edit it. And that's kind of like, you know, if you haven't really understood how my channel works, I will do specific reviews of things and do particular things and put that in the title. But if it's a motovlog, it's going to be pretty unedited, meaning I'm not going to cut out all my... I'm not going to cut out anything. I mean, it's really nice just to have one flowing ride like this and not have any breaks, even those quick cuts that I do to cut out all my uhs and ums, and I do that for the reviews and things. I cut all that out because no one wants to listen to me stammer. Oh, we're almost there, man. If I make it, it's going to be freaking out, man. There it is. There's my destination. Oh, this is great. Actually, let's go to the tree that I always go to. It looks like some trucks are there. Yeah, I don't want to deal with those guys. Stream. So I'll just go down here. Here's the famous turn. And you go straight, you run into 66, you take a right and you go to Lockwood Valley Road. And this is the road you want to go on, guys. This is the road that I did the wet boot video on. And I usually stop up here. There's a little place I go. I'll just stop up here. I can't believe the battery lasted this whole time. That's amazing. I think the days of the Sony action camera are over. I'm going to be curious if the mic works and if the stabilization looks good. But yeah, this is where I usually stop down here. I don't think it's deserted. I think it's deserted or something, but this is where I usually go. Boom. Wow. It's still going. Well, we made it from Ojai to Lockwood Valley Road, guys. Thanks for listening to my rants and raves and everything else. We are here. Lockwood Valley. So you keep following this road, you go to Fraser Park. That's a nice ride. You go there, and then you go all the way to the end, get to Fraser Park, then you take a left, and then go to 166. That's the nice way. Over here, it's just a straight line to 166. It's the most boring road. But anyway, I'm talking too much. Thanks, guys, for watching, and ride safe, be safe, and I will see you in the next one. Decisions. Should I have Gatorade or Red Bull? I think I'm going to do a Red Bull.